This is Copper 90, and these are the top 10 best players who never won PFA Player of the Year. Kicking things off at 10, it's Peter Schmeichel. In 8 seasons at Old Trafford, the Great Dane won 5 league titles, 3 FA Cups and 1 memorable European Cup. Do you know how many times he made it into the PFA Team of the Year in that period? Just once, which basically tells you that his fellow pros simply didn't like him. Nigel Marsden made it in twice, for Christ's sake. Schmeichel should have won the Players' Player Award in 1992-93 when his 22 clean sheets and constant screaming at defenders played a huge part in United winning a first league title in 27 years. Instead, Paul McGrath actually won it, and as good as a player as he was, it remains a travesty that Schmeichel didn't get the nod. In at 9 is Fernando Torres. He might be a walking meme these days, but remember the Fernando Torres who arrived at Liverpool and did loads of lovely things with Alonso, Mascherano and Gerrard? You can't really argue with him missing out in 07-08, as that was the year Cristiano Ronaldo transformed fully into a footballing alien. But the following season, when Liverpool finished second, he should have comfortably won it. Maybe professional footballers don't like peroxide, because instead of the rampant Nando, they awarded it to Ryan Giggs, who only made 12 starts in the league that year and didn't do anything particularly special. Late tackling into the back of someone at 8 is Paul Scholes. Xavi, Zidane, Henry and countless other legends consider Paul Scholes as the best midfielder of his generation because of his ability to control a game. In the Premier League though, it seems that 17 seasons of effortless movement and appreciation of space just don't cut the bloody mustard. He only featured in the PFA Team of the Year twice, which is just plain daft, and in those seasons the PFA gong went to Henry and Ronaldo. Look, no arguments there, but there's probably a direct correlation between England being rubbish at football and the little ginger fella not being properly appreciated by his fellow professionals. Handsomely strolling in at number 7, it's David Beckham. Imagine that you're Becks. You've come back from the 1998 World Cup as a national pariah, you're getting death threats, and West Ham fans are burning effigies of you. Imagine in the face of all of that, getting your head down, and through sheer force of will and by being bloody good at football, you not only reverse the negativity, but play a large part in your team winning the treble. Imagine all of that, and then watching your fellow professionals and the media who castigated you voting David Ginola in as double player of the year for doing some nice step-overs and having long hair. Bastards. Nutmegging in at number 6, it's Gianfranco Zola. Forget Zola all sat on the sidelines at St Andrews, unable to rouse a bunch of average players into mid-table mediocrity, and remember him instead in his delightful pomp. All flicks, spins, rabonas and heart-meltingly beautiful goal celebrations, Zola was one of those players who absolutely loved playing football, and we can only think that jealousy played a large part in him never getting the vote from his fellow pros. That and Dennis Bergkamp also being really good at football at the same time. At number 5, it's Nemanja Vidic. The 2008-2009 season saw Manchester United win their 3rd consecutive Premier League title with a rock-solid base of Nemanja Vidic, Rio Ferdinand and Edward van der Sar keeping more clean sheets than your local laundrette. The side went 14 consecutive games without conceding a goal, and Vidic, aside from his yearly kick ball around with nemesis Fernando Torres, was imperious. Vidic was favourite to win the PFA award, but instead it went to veteran Ryan Giggs, who busted out a cheesy winger smile with a trophy that somebody decided he needed to win before he retired. Absolute daylight and nighttime robbery. Scoring goals for fun at 4 is Didier Drogba, who went about relentlessly destroying Premier League defences in the 2009-2010 season to fire Chelsea to the most successful season in their history in Carlo Ancelotti's first campaign. Drogba plundered home 29 goals to drag Chelsea to the Premier League title, and also banged in the winning goal in the FA Cup final against Portsmouth to secure Chelsea the double. Didier achieved all of this even though he took January off to go and captain the Ivory Coast as they hosted the African Cup of Nations. The Premier League defenders were all still covered in bruises from Drogba dismantling them all season, and Wayne Rooney slid in to steal the trophy. A travesty. At 3, it's Patrick Vieira. Patrick Vieira is the reason for Wexit, the reason for Arsenal Fan TV, the reason for no rule Arsenal fans hiring a little plane to fly over their stadium with a pathetic banner flapping away. Irreplaceable is Vieira, and Arsenal have found that out the hard way. Vieira captained the Gunners to their gravity-defying Invincibles season, commanding opposition midfields into submission and chaperoning his own midfield into domination. Vieira won 4 FA Cups and 3 Premier League titles in his time at Arsenal, but never won the PFA Player of the Year, and the vacuum he left is still sucking in below-par centre midfielders for fun. Picking out passes nobody else can quite see is Frankie Lampard at number 2, who combined his gorgeous technique with incredible work ethic to become one of the most successful and decorated midfielders to grace English football. Right to the very top, Harry Redknapp assured a load of grumbling West Ham fans he would go, and the Wheeler Dealer Supreme was very right. Lampard is Chelsea's all-time top goal scorer with 211 goals, notched in double figures in 10 successive seasons, and is one of only 3 players to score more than 100 goals and make more than 100 assists in the Premier League. Lampard also went on to win 3 Premier Leagues, 4 FA Cups, 2 League Cups and the Champions League across 13 years with Chelsea, but never once won the PFA Player of the Year. Bloody bizarre. Aguero arrives in the penalty area unnoticed and at exactly the right time to come in at number 1, but not quite at the right time to win Player of the Year, somehow. Aguero's instinctive goal-scoring ability has seen him do some silly things during his time at Manchester City. There was the time he won them the Premier League on that sunny May afternoon in his debut season. Remember that? The absurd time he scored 5 goals in 20 minutes as City thrashed Newcastle 6-1. Remember that? I mean, he scored 119 goals in 176 league games for City and continues to find the back of the net, even as Pep starts to doubt his ability whilst placing faith in a strange small man with short sleeves to stop goals from going into the back of their own net. Aguero has been the most consistent striker in English football for 5 years now, and it's difficult to imagine him stopping anytime soon. That was Copper 90, and those were the top 10 players to never win the PFA Player of the Season award. But did we miss someone? Let us know in the comment section, and don't forget to like and of course subscribe to Copper 90.